Top of the morning to you. I've been asked to do, I don't know if you can actually see me, it's bright, but I've been asked to do some a reading in connection with the portal that's been open for a while. I think people might have been feeling Lionsgate, but as people like to say, this is a timeless reading. Time's kind of backward, forward, upside down, who knows where it's going, but been told to connect with the cards. A few words that have been coming through is release, circular, depth and clearing. So there might be a few cards for you, or there might have been themes that have already been coming up and this is just mere confirmation, or there could be things that are sparked from this reading that might then, you know, open up into your world as opportunities for growth and expansion and love and healing. So, alright, well, it seems at the minute that lilac and purple is the colour of the moment, and so they are wanting me to say amethyst, which I didn't know because I haven't actually been working with it, but the colour purple's been coming through strong for a while, not just because of my shorts, and frankincense as well. I'm getting frankincense. So, just gonna get in the zone, don't really know where we're gonna go, but you might like to have a question, or you might have already been asking yourself a question. You might have a message from an ancestor, or something that's been coming through in your dreamscape. So, alright, I've been going to the mermaid deck straight away because there is a lot of fire energy. We've just moved into Leo season. It's Lionsgate tomorrow. There's a lot of things happening that are quite volatile around the world. So we're going to connect with water, and that's why, even though there are people that talk about, I'm going to put those back and do a bit more of a shuffle, sorry. Even though there's been people that talk about, you know, water having no value, especially if it's not filtered, we still need to be hydrated, and whether we are in a tropical environment that can have fruits and we can hydrate ourselves that way, or whether we can have water, we need to be balancing the elements inside of ourselves all the time. So whether we smoke, herb or whatever, the substance of choice, or have a lot of chili or cayenne or anything, we need to be balancing it out at the minute. Well, I say at the minute, but it's all the time. So we're connecting with the mermaid deck so that we can cleanse and purify the body system, and we can connect with, should we choose, a sign or mermaid energy for the highest good of the collective. That's been nice. I just want to see if we are having one card come up per deck. Yeah, okay, for the minute, one card per deck. And it's a beautiful card to start on because the energy is a little bit distorted and fragmented, and there's silly things going on between in politics and far right and various things where we see the dual world split, and those who believe in love and unity and we are one and oneness consciousness. Friendships come up because this is a time of perhaps connecting with those around us, needing, feeling supported, wanting to give love and support, wanting to come together with, there's a little fish in the shell with all types of life and living beings so that we can connect with that unified consciousness. Again, I mean, there is a lot of downloads. There's the light coming through at the top, which is connecting to one of the last readings I was saying, like a lot of crown chakra activations, and we're talking about purple with the amethyst. So there's a lot of stuff coming down, and that's why it's essential that we hydrate so we can maintain the grounding. But I feel that there is a lot coming through, either in the dreamscape or in the daydreams, or in the meditation, and in the crown chakra at the minute. And there's something about ships and the ships coming in, and I'm not sure where I'm going to be told to put this out, but I believe it's going to be after the actual portal day, and so there's lots of activations. That are coming through for people that have been working intentionally with integrity and a pure heart for a long time, and may have been delayed or swerved or pushed off our paths by other people, but those kind of things are culminating and coming into the forefront of our mind and into the path in front of us. So with the water card, I'm going to go to the nature deck, which is about grounding. That one I've been told to take straight away. I'll see if they want any more, but it's quite pertinent to what's going on in the world at the minute and what we've just spoken about. So I love it when Spirit speaks quite clearly and directly, because that was quite a clear, oh yes, this is going to be a one card pull. Okay, so this is quite beautiful. Again, it's the theme of purple and lilac. The card is beautiful. It's celebrate differences. It's a number 3 card, so I always love that when it comes up, because it's 633 on the clock, but I'm a life path number 3, and we need to be celebrating differences rather than going against people that have different beliefs, different race, different colour, different I was going to say intentions, but I mean a different path or lifestyle. And this is obviously maintaining love and respect for everyone around us, but it is interesting that friendship and celebrate differences has come up together. They're very complementary, because ultimately, you know, we might be wanting to lead a life where we have people around us that think like us, that are like us, that look like us, but ultimately we don't grow that way. We need to celebrate the differences, because that's ultimately what's going to expand and evolve our consciousness personally, and right now we can see what's happening in the world. So it's beautiful, and there has been a lot of like rainbow energy. There was a rainbow I saw the other day. I did a little video for it because I got excited and I saw a rainbow. So a lot of like the dreamscape, the dreamers, the unicorns, the unique souls that are getting activated with the third eye, crown chakra, and that colour purple and amethyst, light beings, and I think again playfulness. Like there's a lot of like dolphins, again kind of a very friendly, bubbly, playful energy, and unicorns and horses, and then like children in a child play. So I think that's quite beautiful that those two have come up straight away, and a time in the world where we're forgetting ourselves, we're forgetting that we are all human and that we all come from one divine source. For the conscious souls, those who have souls and are here for the greater good and for light, and that we're stronger in numbers, that we need to come together, and that might look like, you know, chaos and discord at first, and if we can when we overcome that, then the change can happen. But there is a lot being dismantled at the minute, so dismantling in terms of like structures, like societal structures, belief systems. I'm just going to connect with this is my celestial, like angelic deck, and it'll be very interesting. Okay, a little bit more serious, I guess. This is about protection, and it's a time where, with all of this hot fire and hostility coming up, it's really important that we protect ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and that we can do that through foods and the frequency of the foods that we're eating, or smudging. And if we don't like smudge, then we can make herbal sprays, or we can have teas, and teas are very protective, and you know, rosemary, and I think someone was coming through there from the, I want to say deep south, because there's been loads of like deep south music coming through in a minute. Anyway, this is protection. Again, so there is a collection of people, there is a circle here, there is maybe that was one of the words that was coming through at the beginning, circular. and we just before came to 10 on the clock, number 1, so new beginnings, the new cycles are beginning. But as we move into these new cycles, we need to be kind of private and quiet and protective of our own sacred energy and the energy that we're working with, perhaps with soul family. As we come together, we're stronger and we can create more protective stronghold among us, among the ancestors that are watching, because I know that when I'm with my soul family, I get messages from, and we all tend to be from different cultures, I get messages and music and various things come through from other cultures to mine when I'm in their space, and that's always a beautiful sign that I've been accepted and that they are also part of my guardianship, and then my ancestors also reach out and extend love and protection in my prayers as well to the people that I love and that show me support and kindness. So this says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. There's a lot of this kind of energy at the minute, which is again like standing strong, and I think that was that Wakanda and 111 on the clock, and obviously R.I.P. to that beautiful soul. But I feel like with the discord and disagreements that are happening, whether it's verbal or physical at the minute, and the volatility, is to call back the power. Every evening when we want to cleanse or wash, or every rising, however we move into the day, we need to be asking for our energy to come back to ourselves, allowing anything that is not of me to disintegrate and dissolve into the earth and be renewed and reborn into light energy. So there could be something with the upcoming new moon, not the full moon, but there could be something with the upcoming full moon, something to do with maybe stargazing or collecting with your, if we so believe, galactic body, galactic family. You may have been getting messages or kind of signals or signs that other entities might be speaking to you, and if you are open to connecting with that, might be a time to do that, but just ensuring that the source of the origin of this external messages is pure, and we ask for to connect with any beings or entities or galactics of loving intention for the highest good of ourselves and the collective. I'm going to go to this deck and just see the work. So we've got 2 here. So this again could be the duality, like people separating and externalizing things when actually we need to sort of come back to that oneness aspect. I do very much like feel the duality of things, just because that's how my life is panning out at the minute. But again, kind of beautiful. Beautiful numbers as well. I mentioned 11 on the clock. This is a number 11. So a 2, duality, opening heart, deep connections, and water blessings. So as a theme, I started this little reading with mention of the water. So it is really important that we are hydrating, we are cleansing. If we can swim in the sea or in the rivers safely, that's beautiful as well. That's a natural way to just restore, cleanse and restore the energy within our physical being, but also our mental. It like gives us so much other energy. On the past 2 cards, there's a lot of movements with hands. You might be getting activations to do light language, and whether people understand it or not, and whether you get called to do it or not. Like for me now, things just come, like I can talk and there's something else moving through me right now that needs to come through my hands, and I allow it. I can also stop it, but when it needs to come through, it just comes through. So deeper connection to self, deeper connection to our physical body, tenderness, love, TLC, protection, and there might be ways that you want to like move and stretch as you rise into the day. Again, I'm really happy the numbers are coming up well. This is 33, another special number for me. So building your world, creation, expansion and networking, and again, continuation of this protection energy. Connecting with the sacred trees. I believe she is sitting within a sacred tree, and I'm channeling some Australian, some Aboriginal, some New Zealand, some connection to that land at the minute. It's not a fern, but there is some kind of interesting plant here that is almost kind of protecting her, part of the protective barrier around her, and we'll always feel connection or protection from the plants if we start to connect with them on a daily, weekly basis. They just start talking, and it's not a language like, hi, my name's Bob and I'm here to protect you. No, it's energy, and if we're open to it, many more things can come through to us. She's got a lot of us, whether we call ourselves healers or whatever, we're getting activations in our hands. It's really important that we stretch and use our hands in a multitude of ways to support ourselves, our physical vessel, whether that be through creative endeavours, light language and clearing, or through supporting others, massage. There's lots of bodywork practitioners that will be called to support the collective healing at the minute. Acupuncture is coming through strong. However we connect, or whatever we get called to, but there is definitely something about expanding our horizons. With that, celebrating differences, we need to look beyond our own narrative, our own perspective sometimes. Like, yes, we create our own reality, but the world doesn't revolve around us. Our personal world revolves around us, but the world around us, we can't, I think once the spiritual integration sort of lands, because at one point I was very, and still am, very sensitive to sound, but at the point where it was bothering me before, whereas now I'm back in the city and there's lots of things going around. I can't control those external factors, but my aim and intention is to maintain my own personal peace around all of the bullshit that might be unravelling or people might be expelling, because, you know, people need to clear, and when people are in cities and there's less of around, it's natural that we're going to hear things, that we're going to see other people express themselves in other ways. I trust that this is with good intention, but as we know with what's going on in the world, a lot of people are angry. There's a lot of sacred rage that people are connecting with. There's a lot of injustice, and there's a lot of stuff being sparked off for a multitude of reasons. So she looks deep in meditation, so you might be being called to meditate deeper at this point. Again, a lot of white, so because of the crown chakra activations, if we so believe, and third eye. I don't think there's anything more to say on that. I'm going to go to, alright, I wasn't going to go to that text, but they're asking me to go to deck. No, in support of healing. Oh yes, oh, I love it when that comes out. Okay, rainbow. I talked about rainbow. I saw one a couple of days, and again, there's a lot of rainbows, kind of, and I've been seeing through water a lot of prisms and colours you might be playing with. I don't know if you'll be able to see. She sometimes comes through with. No, the light's not right for me to show you. Anyway, so blessings. We need to connect with our inner child. The rainbows, the unicorn energy, the playfulness, the prism, the differences in colours. It's prism, life is a prism, and I'm not saying prison, but that could be coming up for a reason. Is people keeping themselves in a mental prison, people creating this narrative that goes around and round and round, and they don't get themselves out of their own situation. We need to make hard decisions. Like, if you don't want to live in the country that you're in, or you don't want to be around that group of people, you can see people are just keeping you down, and you know you've got a purpose elsewhere, or you know you've got stuff to do, or you know that you're bored and your mental stimuli is not being expanded where you currently are. Make the decision to go somewhere else, or to move in a different way. You don't have to tell anybody, but it's now. Blessings like favour, fortune favours the brave. And the feeling and the blessings that you connect with when we, that's my stomach, sorry, a bit fast there. Sorry, stuff's coming through. I'm going to try and clamber that back because I really lost the point. Rainbows. When we connect with what we want to do and we stop listening to other people, we start listening to ourselves, and we make difficult decisions. And it might take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to get to that decision, but to make it and then feel victorious and to feel like you're winning. And it's not, again, we're not in competition with anybody else, but in terms of how we feel inside, we know whether we're moving towards our own purpose, to live a purposeful life. Like, why are we doing anything? Why are we doing the work that we're doing? Why do we rise to the day? Or do we want to be here to support the collective consciousness and change that's going on? We don't want to leave it all up to, the youth, the youth are here, they can change. At the minute, if we leave everything up to the youth, one, it's not fair, and two, there's a lot of things, well, me personally, I don't agree with at the minute, but the elders need to come together. Like, we all need to come together from different generations to support the healing of the nations. We can't just leave, or consciousness expands at every age if we so desire. And so the lessons of moving through life and being 70 right now, to be able to connect with a 30-year-old, to be able to connect with a 15 and a 4-year-old, it's the evolution of the species. Like, we need to be able to talk and communicate, celebrate our differences, and even if we do need difficult conversations, we can arrive at peaceful resolution. It is possible. I've seen it, I've felt it, I see it in my life now, so I know that it's possible if I can do it. And I believe that we've all got the power in us, and many of us are believing that now, which means that the collective belief of self-empowerment and finding a purposeful path is growing like never before. All right, the herbs, the plants want to talk. I didn't know this was going to be that long, sorry. No sorries this time. Oh, goodness me. Interesting. Bottom of the deck was Valerian Acceptance, number 44. That might be coming through. We had the 33 card, 44. There's an elevation here. There's an escalation of our divinity, if we want to connect. Why I'm happy is Amanita, 42, number 6. So we had 3-3. 3-3 is a 6. It's 6-6, double barrel. Amanita, conduit. So regardless of our beliefs or of psilocybin, we can just might want to forage, or we might want to connect with the medicine, or we might want to go into the forest. A lot of stag, deer energy, silver birch, and beautiful different trees. Again, biodiversity within the naturescape is about celebrating the differences. Like, nature works in harmony with each other because they're all different. They all have different strengths and purposes, and there's no competition in nature. Ceremony might be coming up for a lot of people. There's a beautiful woman, she's playing, and elves and dwarfs and the small people might be connecting with you. I'm getting the contemplaire come through with there's the woman with a flute and a small man with a ukulele and a cauldron. And so whatever our opinions of the word witch or witches, there are people that work with good intentions when they want to work with nature and herbs, for personal or familial benefit, or for the collective. But there's fire energy coming through, a lot of reds, a lot of grounding, a lot of roots, but also some sort of nectar being poured here. It could be nectar from the gods. You might be getting deeper awareness of ancestral connection, and messages from the ancestors might be more readily available at this time. And if it's something that you've not really connected with and you would like to ask, just connect and ask them. Do yourself a small personal ceremony. Ceremonies can be created in a whole host of ways, and I always love to connect with the elements, but you can make your own ceremony. You don't need to listen to anybody else. You can just decide one day and just connect with your inner child and work with loving intention and purity, and you'll be able to connect deeper. were talking about, and this is very rarely do I read the books, but I might read the book on this for everybody because it kind of connects a lot of different themes here. The fire ants come up. So the elements of fire, which we were talking about, but also ants. Ants are a very powerful force when they come together, and I mentioned that the other day because I was watching Ant-Man. So there is this collective consciousness when they work at ants, when they come together and work together and can build, huge mounds, and they carry things, they work together. So there's something about collective, like teamwork. But also the fire elements. So let me see if I can just read this for you, for us, because it's not a card that I pull often, so I definitely know this is connecting to collective energy because I've never pulled this personally. So, fire ant. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excessive heat and gossips. To bring into balance, solo time and walks at night. I'm really happy that the animal spirits have come through in that way because it really does sum up the start of the reading and what we've been sharing, what my cards have been sharing to me in terms of the energies at the minute. So be mindful, go slow, it's a lot of fire, so connect with the elements, all of them together, so we have balance in our physical, spiritual bodies. 27 clock. Texts.